Hi, welcome to John's Jeep Garage. We're going to be removing a front drive shaft from a Jeep Wrangler JK today. Specifically, we'll be using a 2016 Jeep Wrangler 4-door. The overview is we're going to remove a skid plate underneath the transfer case so we can have better access. There's 4 bolts, it's 18 millimeters. Then from there, we're going to be working on the transfer case yoke side, which will have the 8 bolts holding that on, and those are 5/16. And then we'll be working the front side, which will be the front pinion yoke side, and there'll be 4 bolts, and that will be 15 millimeters. Really a easy job. You're going to find out that it's just really tight spaces and just need some room to kind of work to be able to get that transfer case side off. We'll show you the tools that we'll need, and the scope of this video is only about removing the drive shaft because there's different things that people are doing that could end up putting on a new drive shaft with different arrangements, different yokes, and this is just to show you how to remove it. We appreciate it. Please leave any comments or questions in our comment section on our channel, and thank you for watching. So the scope of this video, just to reconfirm with everyone, is that we're just removing the front drive shaft because there's other options you can do, other drive shafts you can put on. We'll have another video on our channel about installing the front drive shaft from Adams. This is the Adams 1310 CV, and we'll show you how to do that. There's a bonus feature at the end, which also shows you how to measure for a specific drive shaft. Even though Adams have some standards, it's still good to measure as they share with you on their website. Okay, let's go over the tools you need. This is the front drive shaft right here, and so basically let's go for socket size to start. So front end, attach to the yoke, 4 bolts. Here are the bolts, and they're 15 millimeter. So you're either going to need an impact socket, or you're going to need a regular socket, depending on if you have an impact wrench or not. And to use the impact, I need a slight angle or approach, which I'll show you in the video. I have a universal adapter. If not, again, just your ratchet. On this side, some people refer to these as 8 millimeters. It is not. It's 5/16. I know it's close, but these are 5/16, and there's 8 of them. Initially, they're torqued pretty high, and you're going to need usually an open face wrench to get that initial torque off, and you'll find that it's pretty tight in there, and the gear wrench side won't fit initially. Then if you have the option, I have an impact, I have some extensions, and I rotate it. I'll explain how I rotate, but I rotate it to get to a certain point where I can just zip them all off. Now, if not, you'll just have to do it the manual way. Now, once this is off, what I mean by off, all the 8 bolts out, but it still has a snug fit in that receiver. And what you need to do is you need to use a plastic mallet, and I usually either whack it here or I'll give it a couple whacks there to loosen it up, and it just pops right out. And I'll show you that in the video. PB blaster. Very beginning, I just go ahead and I hit these both front and the back side and just let it soak, because these have been a bear in the past, and in this situation I hit it early. For safety reasons, always have safety glasses. You're crawling up, you're looking up, and there's a lot of stuff depending on your Jeep that can fall down in your eyes. Wear them. You'll need them, and if you can, wear your gloves. I find myself ripping them off, putting another pair on, and probably go through about 3 or 4 pairs during the whole process. So we talked 15 millimeter, 18 millimeter. We talked extensions. We also talked mallet, PB blaster, impact. Now at the end, you're going to have to torque some things in, and a torque wrench will be what is needed. At the same time, I can explain some just general terms on where you need to be on your torques. All right, so besides that, let's just move forward and watch the video. When working in your home garage, you definitely don't have a car lift like working in some of these commercial places. So in this video, We have a lifted Jeep, which is easier to get underneath and access, but you may have to use jacks and jack stands appropriately, chocking your tires to ensure you can get under there, but work safely. All right, so we need to take off the transfer case skid plate with the 4 18-millimeter bolts, and then we're just going to set it off to the side. All right, so I'm putting some PB Blaster on the bolt side and the thread side of this front pinion yoke. Then I'm going to let it sit, get my 15-millimeter socket. I use, again, that universal joint adapter to help with the angle. Once you remove all 4 bolts, you want to be able to knock it loose. You may need a plastic mallet, but then you're going to strap it up so it doesn't fall. You want that side off first so that the other side will rotate as you need it. On the CV joint side, you see we have the 8 bolts. We're removing this because that boot on the CV joint was blown. So take your open face wrench or your 5/16 socket if you have room to start it. But if you notice, there's not a lot of room right at the edge of where the shaft is. So that open face wrench will help as well. And then I just go ahead and use an impact. Because we removed the front pinion yoke, I'm able to rotate it. Looks like we got 6 bolts off already, so I'm able to use an impact to really get this off. Get your ball peen hammer or get a rubber mallet, give it a few whacks at the base of the shaft and at the CV joint so you can loosen it up and just pull it out. Okay, so there's the drive shaft we just removed. If you're going to drive your Jeep without putting on a front drive shaft while you order one, then put your skid plate back on and torque it to 55 foot-pounds. All right, that's a wrap. The scope of this video, again, was just to show you how to remove the front drive shaft off this Jeep Wrangler JK. Now, depending on what aftermarket drive shaft you're going to get, you can drive around without a front drive shaft as long as you don't need 4-wheel drive. We are going to be putting an Adams drive shaft on here. It's not on this video, but we do have it on a future video. And at the end of this one, just as a bonus feature, we'll show you how to measure for an Adams drive shaft. Otherwise, there's many options that you can decide on putting on. You can even take the same drive shaft and go ahead and just replace the CV joint, because the reason we removed this one was the boot on the CV joint had busted. So whatever options you use, hopefully this video helped you. Thank you for watching. They ask you to measure from this outer lip because you're going to be taking this part off with them and using their yoke. So they're going to ask you to measure from this outer lip to the flat part of the flange when getting a measurement. Now, if you measure from the bottom, and then if it's turned and you measure one of the lips on the top, because there's like 3 of these lips that hold in that CV joint, you get a difference, I don't know, maybe about a ½ inch or so, depending on the size of your lift. So I just take the average when I provide it to them. Anyway, they have standards as well on the length of a drive shaft based on your lift for a JK.